I'm doing what I love to do. You know, it's a, sort of a, in its own way, another path you can go because it's country.
I gotta ask about the Beatles biopic. We've heard that you are also helping with the script, so what can fans expect?
Well, no, I went to England
films.
to sit with the director, and he was great because, you know, they have a right at making it into a film, and there's some left and right moves that could have been sharper. And he just, okay, that page, no, took it out because it wasn't there. I was into like a documentary attitude. I said, well, no, that didn't happen. This happened. And I had to sit and look in the mirror and say, it's a movie, not a documentary.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing. Barry came to the house and said hi. And then when we were in England last year, when we went to the set, we didn't meet the George guy, we met the Paul and John guy. Great. That's a hell of a thing, you know, he's doing for movies. So I'll be in yours, you'll be in mine, you'll be, you know what I mean? We're all going to be whatever. I don't know how, but he's going to do it.
At 85, you have a new album out.
Yeah.
How would you describe this chapter of your life?
I'm doing what I love to do. You know, it's a, sort of a, in its own way, another path you can go because it's country. And not that I haven't done a country record, but you know, Olivia Harrison had in this hotel actually, a read of the poems for George she wrote. And T-Bone was there. He said, what are you doing? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm doing EPs, so if you have a song, send me one. You know, sometimes you don't think, and he sent me the most beautiful country song ever. And so I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a country EP. And then he came into LA and we were chatting, and I asked him, would he produce an album on me? And he said yes. And that's how this started. I like to keep pointing that out because it's like something you couldn't plan.
Right.
Just like talking, and then I say to you, well, have you got any songs? Oh yeah, I got 20 in my pocket here.
Right.
Far out. So I said, well, will you produce the record? And he said, sure. So he's done all the Nashville part, then he sends me some beat and the songs, and then I sing them at home, because I have a great room at home, and I have my drums there. So I play drums and sing the song in LA, and then he puts everything on in Nashville. Well, it feels like I made the right move. I keep stressing that, you know, you make moves in your life, you get out of bed, you make a move to go downstairs. But anyway, it wasn't planned. Somehow the connection worked, and we did a country album. I've always loved country music, and that was easy. That move made that move, and that move made this move.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's where we ended up. I was amazed how great Nashville was, and all the players, if you read the list of players, you know, Billy Strings and Molly Tuttle, incredible. You know, but there was a lot of other players too, I have to thank. And, you know, Jack White was great. Just all of them. It's not like I can say, oh, that guy, none of them. They're all like, okay, let's go. It was great, you know. And then we did that big TV show, that all my songs, and to have Molly singing Octopus's Garden. It was okay.
What did your wife, Barbara, think of this album?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Absolutely loved it. She has it in the car. She has Look Up in the car, and she's getting this one. She thought it was a great move, you know, just because the records worked.
At what stage in your process do you usually share things with her creatively?
Oh, from the start, when I asked T-Bone to be the producer, because she wasn't in the room. Even that, I'd say, well, what do you think? You know, yeah, great.
In the song Choose Love, you talk about the long and winding road is more than a song. What's been the biggest or most memorable stops in your long and winding road?
The biggest being in hospital with tuberculosis and they brought these little drums and maracas and triangles, and I went like that. And I'm 13, I went like that, and I only wanted to do that for the rest of my life. But that, you know, I had to go to work. I worked on the railways. I worked in factories, but, you know, I got that first kit. And I haven't stopped since. And I had to wait till I was 20 to leave the factory, because Rory and the Hurricanes I was in, we had a 3-month gig at a holiday camp, which was like, woo. And from there I got a call from Brian, and here we are. You know, I love music. I love bands. I love, you know, singers. Like here I play channel 88.5, used to be 0.5. And because they give me everything from like the 70s to now, and local bands. And so you get to hear stuff. And, you know, some tracks are great. But, you know, it's like that, nothing has changed since when I started. You've got to go out there, you've got to do it. I think 5 of my 10 grandchildren are players. And, you know, I keep telling them, get out, get a band around you, play whatever they ask you to do. That's what I did. And a lot of them are doing that.
What's the best advice you've given your grandchildren?
I don't know. If you're going to play music, if you're going to play an instrument, play it.